Hi everybody, welcome to DIY Flip, and today I'm going to show you how to cut the flip-flop strap to a T. Okay, I'm going to show you how I did this. How did I get the strap to become like a T? Okay, so what you're going to need is some flip-flops. I already did one, so I'm going to show you how to do the second one. And this is a size 7, 8. Size 7, 8 sandals. You're going to need some flip-flops, new flip-flops. You're going to need a ruler, and you're going to need some pliers, and then you're going to need some scissors, and then you're going to need a margin marker. Okay, and you're going to need any kind of sewing wire. It could be thread, but I have fishing wire and a needle, number 7 or 6. Okay, all right, let us start. All right, to do this, you take your flip-flop, you take your pliers, you remove the strap from the flip-flops. Okay, and I already did that, as you can see. And you see that I already did that to this one. I already took it out. So I'm going to move both flip-flops out of the way, and I'm going to move this out of the way. And what you're going to do is measure. Always cut the long part of the flip-flop, of the strap, I mean. This is the short part, and this is the long part. As you can see on the strap, oops, I have the wrong flip-flop. You can see on the strap, the short one, this is short, and this is 13 centimeters, and this one is 15 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to measure to show you, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, here we go. 13 centimeters is always the short one, and the long one is 15 centimeters, as you can see. Okay, so you're always going to cut the long one. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to cut the long one. Okay, this is the one that's going to be in the middle, the one that has 2, 1, 2. Okay, the one where it has a long, it's going to be in the middle of your flip-flop. You smooth it down the way you want it, because when you do your design, I'm not going to make no design on it, I'm just going to cut it. Now I want to cut 7 centimeters. For size 7.5, since I am a size 7.5, I always cut size 7 centimeters. And I'm going to cut 7 centimeters right here. Seven centimeters, and I will mark it for beginners. I'm going to mark that area with the margin marker. You mark it where you want to cut it, and that's 7 centimeters, which is 7 centimeters, as you can see. And here's what you're going to cut. You cut it straight. Now, this short part that I had just cut from the long area, which is 15, it was 15 centimeters. I'm going to measure it, and it should be 5.5. It's 5. is 5.5 centimeters, as you can see. 5.5 centimeters. Now it's very important that you see that you need to cut the long part. Why? Because the short part, there's going to be, after you cut the short part to your 7 centimeters, you're going to use this extra piece to make it short or long strap. Okay, so this is going to be this is 14 right here alone. And then when I add the other piece, which I have to put it over because I'm going to cut that piece, it will be 20 centimeters. Now I want you to see this, what I made here. These are all, you could make your strap, sorry, you could make the strap going across. Mine is 20, but you could make it to 19 centimeters. And if you make it 24, the strap is going to be too big. Okay, if you make it 23 centimeters, the strap is going to be too big, and 23 is going to be too big. If you're a little heavier, you could make it a 22 or 23. If your foot is a little wider, okay, you can make the strap. You can make it longer, okay, longer. So what you need to do is you take a string and you measure your foot. Take a string and you measure around with the string on your foot, on the middle part, on the cross, the one that goes across. Measure that. Then take your ruler and measure it with your ruler, the string. Okay, and then you'll know, and then find out what is the centimeters. I made here a little thing because I'm 19 centimeters to 20 centimeters. Okay, my 7.5. So this is 19 centimeters. And this is the measurement of the ruler. It's 19. Centimeters, as you can see. Okay. And then for the middle part, if you cut your middle part, this is 7 centimeters. Mine is 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters. Okay, 7. If you cut it 8 centimeters, it's going to be a little tight on the cross. If you cut it 9, it's going to be more tighter. And 10 is going to be more tighter. Mine is 7 centimeters. And since my strap was 13 centimeters, the middle one that I cut is 13. It was 13 centimeters. I cut it to 7 centimeters. What I'm going to have left, if I go down here, I'm going to have from the strap left that I cut, which is this, the second one, I'm going to have 5.5 centimeters. Okay. When I cut my strap, the 13 centimeter strap for the middle, for the middle part, for the middle, if I cut it, the middle, 7 centimeters, I'm going to have left over when I cut it, the one that I cut, the short that I cut, this is the 7 centimeters, and this is, it becomes 13. So when I cut it, this piece right here is going to be, it's going to be 5.5 centimeters, as I just measured, 5.5 centimeters, as you can see, 5.5 centimeters. Okay, so 5.5 centimeters is what's going to go around across your foot with the other piece, which is 14 centimeters. I think, what was it, 14? Yes, 14 and 5.5. That becomes 20 centimeters. Okay, together. So that's only will becomes 20 or 19 centimeters when you cut in the middle 7 centimeters. But if you cut it, let's say you want to cut it, your strap, to 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters right here. You will have left a 4.5 centimeters piece left. Okay, so the secret is the shorter you cut, the shorter you cut your strap. If I cut it 10 centimeters and leave this long 10 centimeters, the tighter your strap is going to be, real tight and short. But the shorter, like let's say I want to cut this real short, up to 3 centimeters or 4 centimeters, my strap is going to be more wider. My strap will be a 23 or 24. So the tip is, the shorter you cut it, the wider it's going to be on the strap across. The longer you cut the centimeters in the middle, the tighter it will be on the top. Okay? So this is a tip that I want you to make sure you measure your foot first, because everybody's foot is different. There's petite, there's medium, and then there's wide. So this is why I'm trying to tell you, the longer your centimeters is in the middle, the shorter it will be on the top. It will be tighter, too tight for your foot. The shorter it will be, a 5, a 6, or 7 is just median. I'm a median. But if it goes down to 6 or 5 or 4, the wider it's going to be on your foot. Okay? All right. So now that you know that, you take your strap, you put the one in the middle that you have, you put that to the side, and you take your 2 pieces that you cut, which mine is 20 centimeters, 20 or 19, because I'm a size 7.5. So you take the little bit there, and you're going to sew it. Sew those 2 pieces together. Okay? You want to sew it. You could sew it going through here and coming out through this little hole, and then going back in here and then coming out through that up here if you want to, but that's kind of for beginners. I will sew it going around in circle, couple of laps. Make sure you sew on each corners, on this corner and then the middle and then here, going around in circles. Okay, So I'm going to do that now. Okay, I finished sewing it, as you can see. And now I'm going to measure it again with my ruler. And it's 21. Let's see, yes. Is it 21 and a half? I mean, 20 and a half. 20 and a half. 21 and a half. Usually sometimes it's 19. I cut it to up to 19 centimeters or 20 centimeters. And this one is, like I said, 21 and a half. Okay. So now to put the middle part, this is how you're going to put the middle part. You could take, first I want to check, okay, I'm going to do it this way. So you take your both side and you pinch it there and you hold it tight. Then you go up, pinch going all the way up. Now make sure it's even. You could put the needle straight here, but for the beginners, you take your margin marker and you just line it. I'm gonna line it on both sides because I really don't know which side that I want. Put it in. Okay, and you line it like that for the middle. Okay, that way you know where to sew. But I want to see which side was it again that I, okay, it's this way. So since it's this way, this is where I'm going to sew this area. You sew it right in the middle, right there in the middle. Make sure the margin marker is right there in the middle, and that's what you start. You take your needle like this, and you're going to go around. You sew through here, then you sew underneath and let it come out, and you go over and under, and you sew it together. Okay? It's very simple to sew, so I don't have to show you when I sew it. You know how to sew. Okay, so I'm going to sew it now. Okay. Okay, I finished sewing it in the middle. As you can see, it is all done. Right on the middle of the line. And I knot it in this side, because wherever you're going to do a design, don't knot it on the back. Knot it in this side, in this area where you're going to put the design at. That way it won't, you're going to cover it up with your design anyway. Okay, and this side will be nice and smooth. Alright, so this is how the T strap should look like. To make a strap like this, this is how it's going to look. Okay, alright, so I'm gonna put the straps back on. Onto the flip-flop, and then I'm almost done. And I'm not designing these flip-flops because I'm just showing you how to turn the strap into a T design. Number T, I mean a letter T. That's what it looks like, a T. Okay. Thank you for everybody who's subscribed to my page, and those who are new, keep watching and share my page to those who loved ones that you have. And please don't forget to subscribe my page, okay? All right. This one is hard to go in. I don't think it went in. There we go. It's giving me a hard time. All right, so this is how it should look like, just like this. All done. This is exactly how it should look. The T. Enjoyed making it, and may everybody be blessed. Okay, God bless you. Bye.